blessing that time in the efforts of rest. The brothers giving the care, the promise of death. The work of my life without care.
A lyrical
Master.
Clear police who make on you, I can't ask it if you bring you. Say my journey, Tina can't ask my jamo. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lopa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We're bringing good news and we give it to you. We're talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we're giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Losa, from Riverside to Raji to Chide, from Grand to Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat to San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv is the best in Liberia. Sktv is the best in Africa. Sktv is the best around the world. That's why we bring you all of the happening from around the world, from Liberia, especially from right here, Liberia. Without, and for us, we don't pass it through the sifter because I know some of you want us to be like, hey, the way we like you, but the way you can do your own too raw, look. You got to do things that way. That's the only way that these politicians of ours who think that life is only about them, that the only way they will change. So every time we come here, we're not here for that. Take time. Nobody taking time. Until these politicians change, we will not take time. Good evening, folks. What a way to say a pleasant good evening to all of you. What's the time like? It's 3 minutes past 6 for my end here is evening, and today is Tuesday, the 24th day in the 6th month. That means gradually that we are saying bye-bye to June, because few more days from now we'll be saying completely bye-bye to June, and we'll be welcoming the 7th month of the year 2025. Don't wait for no man. That's why when you are working, you work because time wait for no man. Actually, let me frank. You see, they trying to take it very serious. Some of you, every time you are planning, you don't have the time. The little time you have now, make good use of that time because you don't know what will happen. But again, folks, let me say good evening to all of our viewers. Let me recognize a few of you people. You please share the show. Yeah. But we will also talk about now. We will talk some of the latest happening. But I think our major discussion today will circle around the entire National Commission on Higher Education, crackdown on institutions, quote unquote, duty register, or how you may call it. But some of these schools been operating for the past 4-5 years and 3 years, even giving people certificates, giving people degrees, and so forth. So what become of all of the people? But again, folks, let me recognize a few of you quickly. We have so many things. Also, we have some social happening. We have some sad news. One of our sister, Yeah, that story for me is just something. It just looks so terrible to me. But again, one of our sister from the from Mount Gibby and from Marshall Road, who was involved into that terrible incident of CNN Go. I know, yes, 45 years old, right? Yes, in fact, 45 years old. We will also chip in on that and also tell you about some of the risks, some of the things that we as human, the kind of life we live. You know, we live with people we don't even know who are they, the people we live with, the kind of environment we interact with on a daily basis, and also the U.S. Embassy. The U.S. Embassy latest release about people who quote unquote they can be posting hate messages against the US and they lack their profile and so forth. So all these things will also come in or meaning yeah, you know. But my team will also join me, Mr. Connor, Steve Bode, or better say Monk will also be. Let me see whatever. Yeah, I think okay. Are you already here already? Let's share the show, people. Those of you who just joining, let's share. Let me see what I missed on the link to Monk. I think yes. Uh Yeah, let me see where is Monk. Okay, yes, indeed. So let me send the link to Monk now. Then we move. Yes. Okay, correct. Yes. So, folks, thank you. Those of you who don't mind, you very but again, people. Yeah. Let me recognize our people. What will do the sharing. It's not easy, but again, that's a life. We got to move on as people. So many things happening, people, yeah, you know, people having their own lives, people, some people, yeah. So please, let's share the show. Would they, Mustafa Balok, good evening to you. Have you done so? Yvonne, yes, Yvonne, you got to pay the fine. You don't want to pay the fine. Good evening to you, Yvonne. Yes, indeed, Yvonne. Even White, good evening to you. Robert Fasulu Jackley, my good friend and brother. Always, Sidiwan Jebo, already here. And the woman here today, says Miatas, Tida Herring, she here. So also, who day? James David, good evening to all of you. Please, let us share the show, people. Yes, indeed, let's share the show so that we can hit around 500 quickly. Then we start to talk about some of the happening. Yeah, at least we gave you some of the latest update about the happening and so forth. Good. At least some of you are sharing. That's great. I like the sharing. Those of you who are sharing, thank you so much. Ali already at the back. Let me see. I don't know where he finished setting up, but I guess Ali still setting up. Ali, you got to. Ali and Mr. Kamani said they can be to work, but at the same time, they always here with us. That's good. I like that. People, let's share the show. Today is Tuesday. So many things to talk about, but our entire attention today will go to all of the happening from the National Commission on Higher Education. What's your take? But for now, we will talk so many things from before we go to that. So, yes, I'm sharing the show. You too do, please. We are appealing to you. Stop Battles M. Young Jr. Thank you for joining us from Puebla. That's good. Always follow us. That's the best thing. It's good you follow all of these networks. Let me tell some of you, because you may not know which one that will give you some of the information, maybe quote unquote, are eating here for the day and so forth. Like for example, the latest one from the U.S. Embassy. So the U.S. Embassy is telling us that those of us that led to post negative things about the great people of the U.S. So they want to see your if I make your account public. Don't lock your account, because when you lock it, when you go to them, automatically that one just leave it and they will not give you visa. So we don't want you to go to the U.S. Embassy, you be crying. The people, they can just deny people, they can just fear people. No. So the U.S. is saying that remove the lock on that you place on your social media. Remove it. They want to be seeing all your anything you post, they just won't see it. They don't get time. What you say, what you don't say is up to you. But the only thing they want you to do is for you to remove your lockup. They just be public. Let everybody see. It's social media now. How can you want to be private? So the U.S. Embassy is warning all of us. In fact, telling us that indeed that's the best thing to do. But let me bring on to Brother Ali quickly. Ali Masari, my brother. Good evening. I know it's afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mayborn, or good afternoon to our followers, our listening audience, and good afternoon, Mama Labira. This is Adio Masade from Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Glad to be here this afternoon, America time, and good evening to Labira time. We are here again today.
Yeah, my brother, thank you for joining us. And yes, the other joke, Ali, quickly before I even ask you about what the latest happening maybe around the world. The other joke, I went somewhere this morning, to buy the hot water, or you can call it, yeah, they have water. Mhm. Eh, So I met these two guys arguing back to back, and one of them is I think it's the chemical guy who can do the furniture and so forth. One. Then the other one, he only play checker. The two of them they arguing. So the guys they were arguing, and the other guy said that the one that can play the checker, he said that in fact I'm happy that at least our Burkina Faso president talking about Africa should be united because we get money, we reach and so forth. At least we'll be able to to develop Africa. So then they come into Ghana and said, no, you don't need for Africa to be united first before you can develop your country. No. Liberia, every time you can say Liberia get money, but the money we can't see it. Only a few hundred people continue to be eating our money. Now, you cry on the white people. I just said them listen to them or Aliu. You people cry on the white people that they do this, they do that, they want to you people. But when you're sending your children abroad to go and learn, they get all of the degree, the masters, and everything. When they come, what they can do? I said, look, I need to wear. No, I said, my heart was almost in fact even wasted on me and so forth. But Ali, it was indeed interesting conversation between them. Two of them were holding it back to back. So the guy said, we can sit down here and continue to be shifting blames on people that the Western people should come, the Western people stealing our money here and there. But at the end of the day, we send our children to go out there to learn. When they come back home, all they do is they are into politics. Why in this world you will send somebody to go get master degree in something that person? In fact, the guy even gave one example about EDC pool that people are planting, this tension line. So myself, I just say, so that means most of our people they are following these things. They know exactly what's going on, and they are fighting hard to find solution to Liberia problem. But my brother, what say you? What's up? Everything around the world.
Yeah, thank you, Mayborn. Yeah, those guys that you're talking about, they were having a very good conversation right over there. You met them having. Yeah, these are some of the things. Right now you see that Bureau government go, government come. You will see them bringing people into the country with all the master degree, the PhD, the this and that. But it is quite unfortunate that these people go back to the country with all of these degrees and they don't change anything. You see, and the worst part of it, the one that can really get into me for those of us who are in America, Canada, or Australia, the rest of the world in Europe, we are working and there are so many good things we are learning here. But when we go back to Liberia, instead of changing the system, because the people believe that when we come from abroad, we go back, we're supposed to change the system to help change things in the country for the better. But it is quite unfortunate when we leave from here, all the good things we learn here when we go, we just put it aside and we join the people to even be more corrupt than them. This is the thing. Sometimes I'm like, why the essence of us going by?
Seriously, Aliu,
because why you learn,
and when you guys when they were
here,
arguing
when
today,
you go
Aliu,
back,
let me
you
be
be able to keep.
my whole entire story really for you. But go ahead.
Yes, that's just it. That we hear all of the things. Come on, example, like in my car, I get a small little trash can in my car. Anything I eat, I put it in that trash can. When I get to the gas station, I empty it. Even my children, when they get in my car, don't drop anything in my car. You see? But now I will go Liberia when I drink water, I dash I take the sachet or the bottle of water, the empty bottle, I dash it in the street. And then I will say Liberia is dirty. But I'm not crazy to drop a plastic in the street of America. But I can go Liberia and do it. Then I will come and sit down, open my wild mouth and say Liberia dirty. Why did I change? When I went there, I was drinking water and dashing the bottle, throwing the bottle in the street. Something that I can't do in America. we learn all of the good things here. When we go Liberia, we do the opposite. When they call us to go serve, we only go to destroy. Because people that live in the diaspora, they are even more corrupt than the Liberians that are there. Take it for that's the fight. They are even more corrupt because I feel to myself, I'm working in America, I can make maybe $5,000 a month. I go Liberia, I'm making 7,000, 8,000. I will be so happy. And then at the end of the day, there are so many loopholes to steal. But yeah, there is no loophole to steal. So I become more corrupt. Those people who live on the diaspora, they are more corrupt than the Liberians that are in the country working.
Well, Ali, thank you. But actually, that conversation really touched me this morning. In fact, that was sometimes when you go to places, just listen, sit down, and just listen to what the people will be saying there. Sometimes some of these things you can also learn, and it makes sense. What happened to our people that were been training battle? But thank God today we'll be talking about it. Education thing, high commission on education, suspending or holding, or in fact closing down nearly 31 schools and so forth. Today, that will be our third round of discussion, even though we'll be having few things that we'll pass through with. But Monk is here already. Monk, good evening and welcome.
What's up, Mabel? And hi to the listening audience of Sktv. Great to be back. I'm not back officially. I just decided to chime in today. It's been a while. I told you I won't be going for. I will be popping in randomly, at least just to get the audience an idea or a sense that Monk is here, right? Even though we got one or two things happening behind the scene, but I'm still here. Yeah, great discussion, fascinating. And it's another day to be on Sktv. Good to be alive. Thank God.
I guess maybe you are not following through, but there was this story that I just said not too long, or this morning. I went somewhere and two guys were arguing, and the other guy said that most of the blames, every time we blame people, we blame the Western world, we blame the white people and so forth. But the same people, they have their country, and we send our children there to go to school to learn all of the thing. But when they come down, nothing they do, nothing they provide. Monk, maybe you want to chip in quickly. That was the lecture between someone who are playing checkup and the other guy who is a committee.
Well, the president is right. That's the whole idea. It's about, the thing about life is about taking personal responsibility. The moment you try to shift blame on someone else, you become a mental child. Right? Like you got to take, you are the one who determine the kind of a future you will live by your decision, right? Your choice. Because at the end of the day, from the day you were born to the day you will die, you'll be making choices throughout your life. You got a choice to pick between good and evil. Like someone gave an example, they say you can use the knife to cut your onions and your pepper and your cassava to make a soup, right? You could use the same knife to go and stab someone to death. It's all about choice. So the whole idea, and the president is right, in the Western world, the people decide to live by certain rules and certain protocols. And you think that people who come here will think and do things that the way have, because they say environment shift your whole life. The kind of environment you find yourself in, no matter your background, whether it's your religious background, your family background, but environment have a major impact. The environment in which you find yourself determine the way how you live. But they got people that have been here for the past 30 years, 40 years. Their minds are yet to migrate. They still do things like someone in the village back home. Even when it comes to decision making in politics, they still think like the way the average person. Now, I'm not trying to bash people that are back home, but the problem when you travel, it gives you a different lens. It gives you a different perspective of how you see the world. When I was in Liberia, I thought my thinking was in a particular pattern, right? Because by then I was exposed. I have never traveled to see how other cultures around the world live or how other people live. But then when you start traveling, traveling is almost like a university by itself, even though you got your traditional education, but traveling alone will open your eyes to the rest of the world and be like, you know what? There are things that we are doing that are right, and there are certain things that we are not doing right. And the only way you can come to such a conclusion is by monitoring and observing how other people live. But they got people who will come from here, they will do worse than even people that are yet to cross the Atlantic Ocean. And that's the sad part about our people. Some people, not everybody, because I know some people that are well refined. They come to this country, they're doing their thing here, they see things. That's why you see, I used to buy into this whole idea that, the people in the diaspora would let to call war for Liberia. I said, no, it took me a long time to understand. When you live in the Western world, there are things that you used to accept. You will never accept them because you were exposed to a whole different kind of a living here, right? So the reason you see most Liberian people in the diaspora, they are engaged, they are mad, They don't like the way how things go because they have been exposed to a better life. And once you see something that is better, things that you used to accept before, you will no longer accept them. That's why I bring the political angle, all the agitation, most especially from the people in the diaspora, because they just cannot take it anymore. Melbourne, if you were to come to this country, the white man tell you that Melbourne, you will be taking pay every 2 weeks. Before 12 o'clock midnight on Thursday night, your check is deposited in your account. And you hear someone talking about they haven't taken pay in 8 months. Will you accept that? Brother, Mr.
These are people that we send abroad to go and learn for us. So thank God that today that we'll be discussing education. That's good, Monk. But quickly, is there anything maybe around the world, maybe that you people want to chip in with quickly? Because I hear about peace deal. I don't know what they have been settled, even though Donald Trump have his own disappointment with the two countries that are fighting back to back. I don't know what say you. What two of you? Any other thing quickly?
Oh well, I've been finding the situation. We got some news about some ceasefire, but apparently someone fired a rocket yesterday, and I think it was a single rocket that came from Iran. But the Jewish state response was too heavy, and the president got pretty pissed with them, even though Iran violated the ceasefire. But the response was too heavy. You know, okay, someone's fired a rocket. The rocket never hit target. Okay, it's a single rocket, even though a ceasefire is in place, at least not officially, but at least, you know, when you are president for the free world, you make a lot of phone calls. You use a lot of intermediary. You can go through Qatar, you could go through China, you could use other global power to broker peace. So when you have something like a ceasefire, even if the ceasefire is not 100% in tight, you just got to maintain certain protocol. And what Israel did yesterday, they were like even though Trump blamed both countries, but he was more specific on the state because their response was too heavy. Okay, yeah, we agree. Iran broke the peace talk. I mean, like I said, the ceasefire, but your response, no, that's not how you do it. So, but I told you at the end of the day, when you see this thing happening, it's all about leverage. We will get a peace deal at the end of the day. I can guarantee you that. So the whole fear mongering about World War III, I don't think it will be worth that. We are more intelligent and we are far advanced. And I mean, I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but more than likely, we will get a peace talk and there will be some kind of a peace deal that will be broken in the Middle East, hopefully. And I'm optimistic.
But Mark, quickly, Israel been complaining about the issue of nuclear weapon and so forth, about nuclear plants and they are also saying that in fact their plans have been achieved. What say you?
Their plan, you mean their objective?
Yes, about our entire nuclear plants and so forth, how to destroy the Iran nuclear plant.
Well, I don't know until it's 100% confirmed because even though the U.S. was able to bomb those 3 sites, the thing is, people don't have problem with nuclear weapons. There are a lot of countries around the world that have nuclear weapons. Even South Africa, Ukraine, South Korea, they were all nuclear power. But nuclear weapon, when you have nuclear weapon, you got to play by certain rules and protocol, right? In the case with Iran, Iran supports some terrorist group. And when you are confronting terrorism, because terrorists, they are not conventional army. You don't know their exact location. And you know, it's not like country fighting country, like the way you got Iran and Israel, that's country to country, that's a conventional warfare. But in the case of terrorism, whether it's about Hezbollah, whether it's about Hamas, whether it's about the Houthis rebel group, no, you don't want those kind of people having access to a weapon of mass destruction. And that's why Israel has always been having problems with Iran. Even back in 2010, 2011, they even used a computer virus just to disrupt their production of a nuclear weapon. But while you were here, Iran would say, oh, we need our nuclear weapon for peaceful purposes, for energy. But the people say, but all the countries with nuclear bomb, they can enrich uranium above 60%. Anything above 60% means that you are not using it for peaceful purposes. You want to produce a nuclear bomb. And that's why the Israelis have always been
complaining about.
Yeah, that's just why it's all about. So once they can settle the nuclear deal, trust me, the Middle East will be a better place. But we
seriously, man, we want our entire region to be peaceful. You know, that's the best thing to do. Ali, quickly, you want to chip in on that? Ali?
I think Ali busy. He got something going on behind the scene.
All right, good. Yeah, so Mark, maybe another story locally in Liberia that caught your attention quickly before maybe I come up with one. Yeah.
Two story caught my attention. The whole Thomas Fowler thing and the whole accreditation from Tech One institution that was shut down. That's a good thing. I'm in agreement 100%. I believe when you want to improve the educational system or the educational sector, you have to have standard, you have to be accredited, you have to meet certain benchmark. You don't go open back your school year and there with no accreditation and believe that you can run some kind of technical college or some institution. So I'm in total agreement with the High Commission. I had to call the name, whether it's the Minister of Education
National
or
Commission
National
on
Commission,
Higher Education.
higher education. Yeah, I applaud them for that decision. I just hope, in as much as they want to shut this institution down, they also got to set their own rules and benchmark that people should meet. And you got to get in a window, to meet those requirements before they can continue the operation, because you can't have people paying their school fees and then in school you just go and shut it down. So if you want them to be accredited, give them the conditions that they must meet, and when they can meet those conditions, then you can reopen their institution. So I'm 100% in agreement with them. That's a good thing. That's how you set standard. They call it short-term pain for long-term gain. Even though it might look bad now, but in the end, it will yield a better result. So I'm on board with that decision.
They talk about Thomas Fowler? I don't know what you're talking about. You have
no, the Thomas Fowler, we got the political power play for 2029. No people making that move, I told you about the sectarian politics versus nationalism. I tell people, right, politicians are like business people. When you're into business, when you're into sales and marketing, right, you give the customer what the customer want. In the case of Liberia, the politicians understand how our people vote, how their mindset are. So Thomas Fowler and other people that they're making the political power play, that's what he said. It's one loafer. I have never heard Thomas Fowler talking about United Liberia, but he believes that Olofian is in power, and
most of them are what they're saying. I like that, Monk. Most of them are what they keep using.
Yeah, that's why. Because why would you want to do something different? That's why I keep telling you. The way how the people will vote will determine how the politician will act. The politician want to stay in power. So anything that the people signal that they want, that's what politicians are going to give them. Thomas Fowler is not going to buck the trend. Olofian is in power. Matter of fact, his deputy speaker, he's no longer in a position where he will need CDC. I think CDC needs Thomas Fowler the most, then he needs CDC. So even if he were CDC, ideologically, he must support his fellow Lofian. That's why he said he's on board 100%. All the sons and daughters of Lofa County should rally around the president in making sure his agenda. He's not talking about regular agenda for Liberia, but he's talking about Lofa County. So that gets a dog whistle or an indirect message. That's why I keep telling you, if you saw what happened in Nima County, why would you want to do something the total opposite? Everybody will play the tribal line, and that's why I believe we will never get a better president in Liberia in my lifetime with the tribal politics, because it just cannot work. And unfortunately, that's why the voter won. So politicians will give you what you want. That's what you call for. That's how you vote. So they have to make their adjustment. That's just the nature of the game. So I can't blame Thomas Fowler.
Well, quickly, Brother Ali, I don't know whether you were following us, but we were also asking you about your take on the international scene. Quickly, we'll come back to Liberia. Then to ask you and Monk about this. U.S. Every visa adjudication is a national security decisions. I think Monk, you maybe come across that from the U.S. embassy. They had the latest release about effective immediately. All individuals applying for the FM or child non-immigrant visa are requested to adjust the privacy setting on all of their personal social media accounts. But we'll come back to that quickly. Let's move to Brother Ali. Brother Ali, what say you? With the international happening, you have anything?
The only thing, as I said yesterday, the strike that the U.S. made on Iran nuclear weapon site. For me, I know that identical strike will bring peace in the Middle East. Like I said, I'm not supporting Iran. I'm not supporting Israel. I support peace. Peace is all we want. This thing has been ongoing for a very long period of time. And that's all I pray for, that they should have this ceasefire and come to a peace deal so that we can have peace in the Middle East. So far, so good. And we are following all the happenings while it's going on. And we pray for peace. So that's all I have to say.
Good. Thank you. We pray for peace, and all of us, that what we are all yearning for. We pray for peace. But more quickly, I don't know why you want to chip in on the U.S. Stuff about their advice to all. It's not even one person, but all that. In fact, their social media account should be public, so that people can see as to what they will post and so forth. Because there are a lot of us, we use our social account, and in fact, we lack our social account. What say you quickly on the Liberians complain that whenever they go to the U.S. embassy, sometimes they feel instead of 10 persons, sometimes only 2, or sometimes 3, or better, maybe 1 person will pass based on maybe the interview and so forth. But with the latest coming from the U.S., what say you, my brother?
Well, not much. They call it extreme vetting. It's a security measure, it's a national security thing. When you come into this country, you need to be vetted. That's why when I hear people who come to this country legally support illegal immigration, I don't know how they process information or how their underthinking works. Because if you are going to play by the rules should be applicable to everyone. You stay in line, you apply, they vet you from your medical history, your background, your affiliation. Because the thing is, you got the war is interconnected, right? You got terrorism, you got war. You need to know who coming into the country, and every country has that's why you see every country on this planet do have an immigration system in place, because when someone is coming to your country, you should know who they are, and that's just why it is. And social media today is it plays a significant role in our life. It tells you about someone's background, their ideology, what they believe in, because some of the posts you make, they can detect your political ideology, whether you are a terrorist sympathizer, whether you believe in democracy, some of the things we post. So it's a form of extreme vetting. It's a form of a background check. So all they are telling you, when you get to your social media account and your account says private, go to the privacy setting and change your filter to public. So that way, when you go to apply for a visa, they're able to extend to your social media feed to get some information about you. That's just why it is. So it's just a requirement thing. And the way you got terrorism and war happening all around the world, one thing I know about this country, even from the day of President Bush, every time there is a terrorist attack or any national security implication, they make the process extremely difficult. They make it tougher. They keep adjusting, because that way they know the more people that come into the country, they can get some information about you. So let's assume you have to go to the U.S. embassy, you apply for your visa. Okay, Melbourne, we go in your community, we check your education background, we tell you to do some health check in terms of your medical record. But then what are you doing on social media? Are you associated or affiliated with any terrorist group? Are you in bed with some criminal? Are you into illegal money laundering? I mean, just something about you personally, but how would they be able to check if your account is private? No, they get telling you should make the adjustment on your privacy setting and set it to public, so they can be able to delve into your Facebook feed and know what's up from the social media.
Well, thank you, Mark. I just love the way you make it so easy for I think for our people. So again, Mark, so many things happening. I guess all of us will be following throughout the time, but we have nearly 27 minutes to go for the news break. So I want us to check with this entire or the latest news about 31 schools that have been closed down because of their yeah. I come in. Are you? I know you want to chip in on that also?
Yeah. I want to say something about this the statement that came from the U.S. embassy today. Yes. You see, people are saying so many things out there, but just as Monk said, even this country we are in today, if you apply for a job, the first thing they had to do your background check to know all your previous places of work, or if you get any criminal record, even the state you in and how you've been working. So you can just come to the country anyhow you feel like coming. Like Monk said, maybe your social media account, there are some terrorist group you are associated with. And for example, some of what we are here, people go on social media and threaten our lives. Oh, when you come to this country, we are going to do this to you, and you know that my government in power, and all this kind of threat, they can be threatening our lives and things. And you feel you get shot more, you critical on the government when you come, we do this. And people mad because of this politics today. They go on social media and they wear all kind of crap. And you don't know some of these things tomorrow, it come after you. You see? And they will, some of these records, you don't know. If you're threatening people here, they send you those records to the embassy. You don't even say no, you just sitting in our country. And you go there now tomorrow and say, oh, maybe yes. You remember you said so and so in your social media, then they start bringing it up to you. Then they deny you right there. because you will not be in Liberia, you be threatening American citizens all because of politics. Why if they will come here to go to school in University of Maryland, I'm in University of Maryland, and he be threatening my life. Everywhere they get bad people. Even in Liberia, on those Liberia campuses, they get some bad boys, bad girls. You can use any of them, do anything to me, so you can be denied just because of that. So we shouldn't mind those politicians and be doing things that will hamper us tomorrow in the future. It's not good. So if you feel your records are clean, when the essence of complaining, like somebody will send you friend requests and their Facebook page is locked. I can get delete that nonsense and pass. You get no big deal in that. People are saying, oh, because of America will not have privacy. It's up to you. That's your choice. You feel you like it, you want to open it at your business. America not crying for people to come. So
thank you, brother Ali. So that move on.
Let me just maybe the case that Ali made about this whole visa and the Facebook thing. Let me just give you a story that happened recently. There is a Palestinian activist. He was in Harvard University, right? He was just arrested. They call Mahmoud Khalid. Mahmoud Khalid came on student visa, even though he's a green card holder, but he's an activist. And they got this kind of when you come to the universities in America, in order to get federal funding, the federal can subsidize the cost of your education, to they pay certain money to these, they give them grant. So before they can give you that grant, you have to meet certain conditions about free speech. So they say where your right stops is where someone else's right begin. Mahmoud Khalid, he organized a protest. He's an activist, but he's a pro Hamas. So when they arrested him, or the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, one thing people never know, so say, oh, they may get green card. The government just want to arrest him. No, what they never understood. Mahmoud Khalid on his social media account, he organized a protest wherein they locked classroom for other students, maybe some Jewish student that was in the Harvard University. So when they interview Rubio said, let me tell you, when you come to America, when you got a green card, it's just a privilege. It's not all right. When you apply for a student visa, there are certain questions you answer on the application. They ask, are you in any way affiliated with a terrorist organization? So it means if he said no and he came to America and organized a pro-Hamas protest on campus, then it means he lied on his application, because that question was asked. They asked him, are you in any way, shape, or form affiliated with any terrorist organization around the world, or are you a sympathizer? When you say no to that question, then you cannot come to America and organize a pro-Hamas or Palestinian protest.
Yes.
It means you lie. You see how the law works and how they were able to get that through his social media account. But I just wanted to add up to that. It just
thank you, Morgan.
Brazilian mom, everybody that got citizenship in this America, they came to that question. You will answer it.
You got to answer it.
Identical question. Everybody that got citizenship in this country, you will answer that identical question. That what Brazilian mom just talk about.
Yes. So to our people, you should know what to post on your social media. Those of you who are always insulting people, you're doing all kinds of things. That in fact, Monjo make it clear that indeed be careful on what you post, what you say, because all of these things will be used against you, just in case if you have any opportunity to even travel to the US. So again, thank you, Mark, and thanks to Brother Ali also for at least explaining some of these things to our people. So now let's move now quick to our topic for the day, because we have no more time. So on today, Mark, the National Commission on Higher Education to the crackdown on illegal institutions, and 31 schools have been shut down immediately. But yes, is the question mark. With all of these things, other schools are put out graduates, and some of these graduates, some of them are even working and so forth. How come or what this system of ours will take long time before we attend to things that is glaring? Because mind you, if the 31 schools, quote unquote, have been operating illegally according to the NCHE, Monk, we even have some health schools, or some of these schools that teach about health and so forth, right? some of the health sciences and so forth schools around here. So if you have people who are illegally operating and they are there teaching people about health sciences and so forth, Monk, are we still doing the right thing? Do you think this is the right time, or do you think that maybe we still have a long way to go?
It's always the right thing to do. Maybe whenever you want to improve a system, it's always the right thing to do. That's why I'm on board, even though it took forever, but it's still a step in the right direction. And just, I mean, speaking of that, let me just give you let me see here. Let me just give a rundown to the audience about the schools or the institution. They get a Matthew Institution of Health and Laboratory Science, 72nd John, Painesville. They got a Christ Liberal School System, Pipeline Road, Painesville. They got a Great Commission Christian University. They got a Elizabeth Medical Institution of Health and Sciences, or Mount Barclay. They got Faith College and Professional Studies, Jacobtown, Painesville. Millennium Institute of Health Science, Congotown. The Garnet Academy, Copper Road. They got Moreover Open Bible College, Cinco. The ACDI, Asida Christian College, Kanta, Nema County, Liberty Theological Seminary, Professional Journalism School of Liberia, or GSA Row, the Sibakwa School of Travel and Tourism, Galley Street, Limon V School of Health Assistance. So the thing is not only your traditional high school or university, also to theological seminaries or religious institution, any medical institution, you got to be accredited. You have to play by a certain set of rules. And I would say again, I think it's the right thing. Maybe the time is a little bit late, but it's never too late to do the right thing. Either way, I think it's not a bad thing. When you want to open school, when you want to charge people certain fees, when you want to train people to be professional, you yourself have to reach or set a particular benchmark. Maybe, okay, let's assume you want to open some kind of a technical institution and you don't have any technical knowledge. How can you impart or train people to become technicians in the future if you yourself cannot even meet the basic requirement, whether it's about the tools and resources you have, whether it's about the learning material you are giving to people or the experiences you are giving to people for their money. So it's always good to do the right thing. And I think when it comes to impacting knowledge into other people, you must meet those standards. That's why they call it accreditation. There are rules, there are regulations. You cannot call yourself a university when you cannot even reach a college or standard. That's it. You're supposed to be called a university. And when it comes to the healthcare issue is a whole different thing because people's lives is at risk. You saw what happened with the Stanton Witherspoon case in America here. You don't do those things because people, you are risking life. You want to train someone to be a medical professional, and you yourself, you don't have all the resources and all the individual, the professionals to be able to do the work. Then I believe the government should step in. And the same thing goes for religious institutions. I just hope they can do the same to churches too, because we got the proliferation of churches. We saw it in Rwanda, right? They closed more than 6,000 churches and mosques. It's not about it. They are not anti-religion. They just mean like, you know what? Sometimes you can work in group or work in team and you can establish a bigger church. But the whole thing, like, every street corner you park there is a church, and some of you're only 9 in the church. Some of your children playing the instrument because you don't even have members. You don't need to be a church. That's just why it is. So I'm on board 100%, and 100% on board with the government. The only thing is when you want to take this kind of action, also give them a window of opportunity wherein they can be able to put certain measures in place to meet those conditions so as to regain their operational status or their operating status as an institution. That's just why it is. You don't just shut people, give them the chance to. Maybe somebody can meet those benchmarks and stand up. If you give it the time, they will be able to make some adjustments. So you got to get in that window of opportunity to be able to meet the standard that is being set to get an accreditation.
Good. Aliu, the same question. Where are we heading? Are we heading for a better educational system, or maybe the job people will say that just show way?
First of all, that's a brilliant step by the government or what they are doing, because I can remember when Madam Sedi said the education system in Liberia is messed up. These are some of the things like Monk just said. There should be your benchmark. People have to come, oh yeah, this is what you need to do before you get accreditation to open your university or even a school. And they shouldn't just stop on the school. Right now, there are 2 things that are making money in Liberia, and I can also say 3. Number 1, you want to make more money in Liberia, make sure you get a school. People see it, oh yeah, you will get money. Some people feel that, oh, building church, it will give you money. Some people feel that, oh, building nightclub will give you money. And those places more especially for nightclub, no restriction. You go Liberia, see 12, 13-year-old children in nightclub. You see, so the education system is just that kind of way in the country. So that's something good, and they shouldn't just be showmanship, because this government they can just come, they start something, at the end of the day it dies down. So the education sector, not everybody get money to send their children to even private schools. Not everybody get money to send their children out of the country to go to school. So I think these are some of the things that we make. I think we'll be having professional teachers, we'll be having good schools, wherein our people will get quality education. Like in America, yeah, our children, they go to school with lawmaker children, governor children, mayor children. They all go to public school. But Liberia today, you will not see your lawmaker children going to government school. Here we call it public school, because they get money to send them out. They want them to get quality education. And these are some of the things. Looking at the education sector, they kind of backyard school and things. So it is a great step, and we wish and pray that the government, as they start it, they should do it the right way to strengthen the education sector. I think it is good, it is commendable. Yes.
Good. We wish and pray that the government do the right thing so that our educational system can be better. Ali, thank you. But Mark, this follow-up question to you. All of the time, like you just stated that sometimes these things it just come out like the Coca-Cola, you know, we those of all that can drink the soft drink, you know. By the time you are gonna open that, you know, it don't form like something. So, Mark, this thing come like that, even though there are other students that also work out of some of the institutions. And what's going to happen to them? That's my question to you, Mark. What's going to happen after receiving your certificate, or maybe, yes, your certificate and so forth? Then they're not telling you that.
Not be accredited, so it means they're going to revoke your degree or your license or howsoever. You see, that's why you got to, this thing, they got to be well thought of. It. Like, it cannot just be some impulsive decision, because when you're talking about the argument the higher educational commission or whatsoever is making is either they want academic integrity and they want standardization. Okay, yeah, it sounds fancy on paper, but the good thing is, the thing here is, how do you put that into place? Let's assume, and that's a good scenario you just gave. Someone went there 2 years ago, they got their diploma or their certificate, and they're working in the healthcare field, and now you're going to revoke their status, saying that they are not accredited. So what become of the person that graduated 2 years ago, where you say that they are not professional enough to work in the healthcare arena or whatsoever it is? And the thing is, when you say you want to improve the education system, it's not just about shutting down institutions. Are you giving them subsidies also? Are you giving them the tools and the resources that they need for them to update or to meet? Like I said, it's all about standards. It's all about meeting certain benchmarks. Because when you talk about accreditation, what makes you to believe that you reach the status or the standard of a university or college? That's why it is. It's a good thing. I like that. But the question is, are you giving them the tools, the resources? Are you subsidizing them? Are you giving them help in any way? Because in America or any other country, the government also got a role to play when it comes to strengthening the system. Because the person get a school, right? They came and they registered, they got an institution going on. But the question is, where the role are you playing? Is the government allocating any kind of a budget to help them with some resources to make them stronger? Not only college and university, just even your MCA, the school system. Take for example, things like payroll. You know how or getting paid on time can impact the quality of the education that you receive, because the teacher is being well paid, then it motivates him to even say put in more time and effort in order to make the system much stronger. But the question is, yeah, you got the power to shut them down or to revoke their license or their accreditation. But the question is, what role are you also playing? And are you going to give them the necessary resources and the time to adjust? Because, okay, you shut them down, but some of them might be able to make some adjustment to meet those requirements. Are you giving them a time limit? But I haven't seen anything like in detail as to what they need to do. They just give the list of school and what they want from them. But we'll see what will happen with the coming weeks and months, if there will be other moves that they are going to make also.
Aliyu, the same question to you. What's going to happen with all of the, in fact, our young students who graduated, or in fact, some of them are already or thinking about graduating and so forth, and all of their schools have been closed. What's going to happen next?
That's just another problem, because people who graduated for the past maybe 1 or 2 years, and now you're coming to revoke their licenses and thing. The government, when you want to come up with these things, sometimes you you have to think the negative aspect of it and how you are going to handle it. Like when I was a classroom teacher in Liberia, I can remember we had a Ministry of Education curriculum that we were going by, and even the district education officer, sometimes they visit us to see as to whether what we are teaching, if it is in line with the Ministry of Education curriculum. But these things, they are not happening at this time. Even if I was in school, I was smart in math. The moment I graduated from that school, they will call me, okay, yeah, you know you were smart in math, or we want you to come and teach. We are going for teacher training, all of these things. So that's another aspect there. Because taking the people licenses, the people who graduated from there, so what become of them? Are you going to tell them that what they learned, or they never followed the curriculum, they didn't learn anything better, so they need to go back to school? So the government had to put all that in place to see how they can address those issues.
Great, thank you, Mark. Back to you with this. Are you talking about they should only stop only to these various schools maybe that have been closed down? Are you also recommending that this economic exercise should also extend even to some of these schools that are also operating legally, but they are not up to standard? Because more, mind you, we're in the new era. To even see some of the universities, around here, even when you go there more, you feel bad. You feel terrible.
In the current university. Now we're talking about university. That word university at me is global. When you talk about university, it's not only on a local level, we're talking about international standard, because what you call it university be global, right? That's just why it is. Even though the standardization might be, it might vary, but the entire idea, the whole foundation, that it got to reach to the highest standard. So my thing here is, we want the education system to get better, whether it's in the theological seminary, whether it's the medical area, or your traditional or academic or university institution. The question here is, what happens to people who you are yet to identify, even though they might look legal or up to standard, but when you look at the operation, they are not up to standard? Because if you are not part of the 31 school, it doesn't mean that you are up to standard, even though they didn't get to you yet. So my question is, they have to be comprehensive. You cannot just be picking and choosing. You cannot be picking winners and losers, because I know, and you there in Liberia, you can tell that some of those institutions that are not on that list, they are not up to standard. So what the High Commission is going to do about that also, because you cannot be targeting few people, and even though the other one, they are not on the list, but when you look at them, they are no different from people who you are targeting. So you got to be fair in this whole thing. That's why I said it cannot be impulsive. If you talk about standardization, then it got to be across the board. The question is, what are you doing and what measures are you putting in place to take the weeds from the chaff? That's just why it is. Don't get targeted at one school, because I know there are more than 31, and you can agree to that they are way more than 31. So the question is, are you having a checklist that you will be using to go for the other guys that are not on the list, or you are only targeting just 31 schools for now? So you got to be very.
I just like your entire statement, Mark, because you are quite correct. Because sometimes people just do these things on maybe pick and choose basis. Like for example, you just need something that this school is operating, but even if you go, there's somebody measuring, even you or somebody, people are throwing chairs. Can you imagine? You say university. I don't even know what kind of water.
And that is and that is the state number one state-run university in the entire country. But go ahead.
Well, people are throwing chairs. I don't know whether that's still happening now, but during those days, people used to be throwing chairs from class to class. And if you are not up to standard of you providing everything at that level that you call yourself, then I think some of these schools should be shut down until they can do the right thing that the monk is suggesting. Because it will only be, okay, say not register, maybe legally, maybe through us, or maybe this way. So for that reason, we're going to get you out, or maybe for now, or maybe if I'm going to close you down. No. So some of these schools are even being closed down, they are even far better than monks. Am I right? Some of these schools that are even being closed down, monks, they are even far better than the one that are operating.
But Mebon, when you say university and use the word standardization, like I said, it's a global set foundation, right? It's something that is set all around the world, no matter where you find yourself around the world. Okay, if you look at the University of Liberia now, and like Celia one just said, you talk about people throwing chair, you asking, is our curriculum now at the U of L in conformity with the global curriculum or is it up to standard to other university around the world? Because you have to make comparison. That's why you got standardization. You got to meet certain conditions and certain standard. And even when it comes to the learning material, we're talking about technology, you're talking about AI, you're talking about all these things. Can you make the case that the University of Liberia, as it is right now, it is up to standard as compared to the average university on the continent of Africa or even outside the continent of Africa? Because they might not be on the list, but if they are not operating to meet the current standard, then they themselves, they are not there, even though.
And that's the point. And that's the point. But Ali, what say you with all of different, some of the university or colleges that are there today, who, in fact, some of them, they are celebrating that their name has not been placed. If you look at some of them that are even operating, those schools that are even been sent home, or maybe that have been closed down, some of them are even far better.
Far better.
Schools are even operating.
That's what I'm saying.
So, Mark, quickly, maybe before Ali come in, are these things been, because these things are glaring. But to see our leaders or to see those people who are responsible to sit back and pretend that nothing is happening, for me, I don't get it, Monk. And for me, I don't even trust the entire process. I know very soon they will go back to bed. That means they will soon sleep. And all these schools, in fact, there will be more schools that will be operating. But go ahead, Monk.
Yes, the question we're going to ask, it is just a charade just for political showmanship, or are they trying to revamp the entire system? Because if you want to revamp the entire system, they will not be your first step. You will give them time, you will give them prior notice, you will tell them to make the investment, you will give your role in terms of subsidy from the government before you come and start shutting them down. But if you just come in to show the whole world that the government is serious about improving, then not politics. Then this is not a comprehensive plan to improve the educational system in the country. It's just showmanship. But if you really want to transform the education in Liberia, like I said, you will put the resources there, you will get a budget allocation, the government will subsidize them, the government will set the standard, then the government will get in that notice to meet those particular conditions. If they cannot, this will be the last step. But in this case, I don't know. I can't speak on that for now because I don't know what has been happening behind the scene. The only thing is this story just grabbed our attention because it's very strange in Liberia, in the system where even the state-run university itself is not even up to standard. Let's talk about other theological.
Somebody even talking about leaking roof.
Yeah, leaking roof and all those things. Yeah, even the learning environment is not even conducive about the learning materials. So I don't know how they are going to go about doing it, but I believe they are way more than 31 school. And some people that are not on that list, some of them are guests. I want to believe that they are far worse than people that lost their accreditation or their licenses to operate as an institution. Yep.
Ali, any other thing quickly? We have 3 more minutes to go for the news break. At least for to go for our break. Ali?
Yeah, maybe as Mon said, first of all, they had to look at the curriculum and compare it to the international schools, other schools around the world, because you will not go to Liberia all this year, you get degree that when you go somewhere, say they can even set your degree from you. You see, look at the University of Liberia, it's not even up to standard, then you go in after those local schools there. Like Mon said, government, before you come up with this thing, you should put some measures in place. But these people, they will just come up with things like the way they do your national ID card. We are putting no measures in place. They just came up, everybody go do national ID card. These are some of the things. But we wait and see if they really mean well or if they just want to do some showmanship as usual, then we know they are not yet ready. But it is a good step, provided if they can take all the right measures, then it's going to be good. Or else, this is going to die a natural death.
Great. We have 3 minutes to go for the news break, but I think when we come back, we will also look into, maybe we'll take 4 or 5 minutes into the lady that the Liberian Canadian woman who allegedly got killed at the Bentown Marshall. Okay, so my news team telling me that we should continue. Wow, that's good. So, Aliu, since we are continuing, Monk, I think I don't know about this story. What are you people come across this story about the lady, the Liberian Canadian woman, 45 years, that have been killed in her house, according to reports. And the Liberia National Police has confirmed that 5 individuals have been arrested as persons of interest in connection with the horrifying death of 45 years old Sienna Gorix a Liberian Canadian woman who was found burned beyond recognition in her home on June 20th, 2025. Where are we heading? Are you saying we're not going for news, Mark? This is one of the terrible story of our day. Yeah, so can you just chip in on that quickly?
Well, it is a terrible story with I will call it global implication. Implication, especially for people in the diaspora. It's scary. It's a scary situation. But my initial reaction from that story was, usually this thing will come from an insider. You know, I know Liberia is not the perfect society, but people from or someone from outside won't just commit that kind of a gruesome murder. Someone must have been within, whether it's an extended relative or immediate relative or someone that got some kind of information, because she's young. She's 45. She undertook such a massive project. And there was a guy that called, we call him Bush Chicken, yes, Stanford. I don't know how you pronounce the name or what's up, because he got some account on Facebook. He posted a video, I think when, I don't know, it was the opening of a house wherein people were dancing and, you know, merrymaking, welcoming her back home or whatsoever it was. And the next thing you know, because the first question I asked, that house is so huge and she cannot be the only, she couldn't have been the only one sleeping in the house. There may have been other people there. And the manner in which she was gruesomely murdered, you would be like, but where were the other people? What happened to them? Because if Ann Roberts, I heard that she was raped, her body was mutilated and then burned. Can you imagine? I don't know what kind of gross and animosity you have to one individual that you will inflict the kind of suffering on them. You rape the person, cut their body, and then burn them. I don't know. But we'll leave it to the law enforcement people to do their thing and
wickedness.
It's just a bad signal for people outside, potential investors, people that want to come home. People, let me tell you something, Melbourne. They got people that been here that just want for that country to help, to get better. There are lots of people that will be willing to transition. They've been in the Western world, they pay their dues here, they work here, they pay their taxes, they just want to come home and enjoy the best of life until they can leave this planet. And they don't want to see this kind of a story popping up on the social media or in the news that someone left from Liberia. I mean, come on now, the woman is in the middle age, 45 years. She just began her life. Why would you want to do such a thing to her? I mean, for a young woman who's coming home and trying to transition from Canada back to Liberia, why would be the objective here? What are you trying to do or what are you trying to achieve? But like I said, my initial reaction was it got to be some kind of an insider, someone that she got some kind of connection with, maybe some kind of arch enemy, extended or immediate family. It cannot just be a random outsider that will want to do something like that. That's my initial reaction for now, but the update just.
Ali, what say you, my brother? Even though myself, I came across another story about, they said, I don't know, a man beat his wife to death. You know, I don't know what kind of more cruelty, what kind of life are we living? Yeah, I think I came across one other story like that. Same we into the entire death issues. I came across that story, I think, in the morning, but I'm still fighting hard to get where I really placed that story. But they said a guy beat his wife to death because he beat the woman until the woman went off, and before they brought the woman to the hospital, she was already there already. But Ali, what say you, my brother? I don't know what kind of world I'm living in. Ali, all right. So maybe Ali back on his break. Yes. Yeah. So Mark, so with that story this morning about I'm still putting together. Those of you, you can just forward to me. I don't know what my hand place in the morning, but there are a confirmed report that allegedly that a man beat his wife to death. You know, he beat the woman until the woman went off. Before they put right the woman to the hospital, she already pronounced dead. You know, so please, yeah. You say okay, yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Monk. Go ahead. What say you with that story too? Because there's so many of these stories, and these stories are just terrible, Monk. Well, because even that compound that I was just seeing a compound not too long about where that lady live. And Monk, let me just add up to you quickly before you come on. You know, I think our security, they had to, you know, beat up their strength, and they had to make sure that they patrol. Because Monk, people nowadays now is like we are not. You know, we are living in fear because, let me just say this, because if, like you just stated, people will want to come to invest, come back home after all of their life, understand, and say, okay, yeah, let me come back home and develop and get back to my own country, yeah, and then come and live. The person will come and go through the kind of pain. I don't know what the cause. I don't know whosoever behind that, but they said 5 persons have been arrested and there are persons of interest. But mom, it is saddening for our society. And that's a bad image for our country. Let me be frank. I don't know how
It
some
is.
of you will claim it, but it's
It
a
is.
bad image for
It's a
Liberia.
bad image.
Liberia, Canadian,
Yeah.
it's bad, though.
She's from overseas. It's bad. That's what I'm saying. Her story is not only local, it's international also because it sends chill down the spine of people out of the country, whether you're in Ghana, whether you're in the Western world, any part of the world, you know. But I would say again, you know, that's one of the reasons we keep talking about the economic narrative of the country. When they say he who down fear no for Melbourne and people can handle their situation. Look, the thing they call jealousy or hatred is a natural part of the human species, right? And the reason some of us keep talking about security and whether it's the rule of law, whether it's about accountability, that's why in the justice system you have to punish people for doing bad things because it will serve as a deterrent so other people cannot engage. But when you see people killing the sons of former president, you wake up in the morning, you see a dead body here and no investigation, and nobody is being punished to the ladder. Why make you think the wicked guy somewhere will want to stop? They will keep doing these things, and these things are becoming all too common. Kidnapping, rape, you know, abusing of kids, drugs into the country, and people getting away. When someone commit a crime because you believe their past position in government or because they are influencing society, you tweak the rules and let them to work with impunity. Okay, yeah, you think you are doing it for the right reason, but at the end of the day, you are sending the wrong message to the bad guys out there, and that's what's happening. People have been seeing other folks getting murdered in that country, and you can see the perpetrator being brought to justice. You're not punishing them to the lighter to at least to deter people from doing these things. And for someone from the diaspora, trust me, because who knows? Maybe I don't know how startup.
And for you people on our side already, you're already used to the security system, and then on the small all we move, we proud dignity and what we call the PND because for us we don't care already, but actually it's bad, man. It's very very bad for our society, and I think thank God to the Liberia National Police at least for their first investigation and the arrest of at least people of interest. We hope and pray that this case will go forward, but actually that's a bad image. Let me be frank. I don't care how you want to term it, but it's a bad image for our society, for our country. Yes. Ali, you have anything to say on that?
Mabon.
Hello? Yeah, go ahead. We're getting you. Yes, go ahead,
my man. You're sorry there. You're sorry there, man. Today is a busy day here. You know, our sun today is 110 degrees. Yeah, so I'm very busy with so much emergency call from our viewer resident. Every people going off this and that. You're sorry. The sun too hot today. Yeah, maybe to the issue that lady. That you know, so many things came to my mind today. Because, for example, me when I in Liberia, I'm in my house alone. Yes, I sleep alone throughout. So when I saw that today, I started thinking, if I can go Liberia, I just in that house, nobody there with me. So many things started coming to my mind. Yes, because that is scary for all your investment, everything that she did, build a house and decided to go home. And when I saw that video today, it was just like a warning to me that I always say I need privacy. When I go home, I go rest. I want no noise. I just in my house, witness show, eat and sleep, talk to my children. So it is a warning to me. So many things came to my mind. So now, what I can do now when I go back home, maybe I need to start getting in touch with ethical security and things. But it is scary. And thank God that the Liberia National Police were able to at least get some people, and we wait and see what's going to come out of it. But as Monk said, there's an insider. This thing can just happen like that. Nobody know me. Nobody have time for me. Nobody know how to get to me. That they will just come and do such a thing. Or somebody must be close to her that working along with certain people that carry on that act. So may her soul rest in peace. Our condolences to the family. But we pray and pray that the Liberia National Police should be able to come up with something good. Like for the other man that killed his wife, these are some of the things where people are committing crimes and going free without no impunity, or other people will be encouraged. Oh yeah, John did it, nothing came from all of it. So I think I can do the same thing. So these are some of the things for you to beat your wife to death. Why were they came upon you? What happened to you? You see, I don't know if you saw the other story about another Liberian that committed suicide. He killed himself for
Yeah,
woman
what other young guy, right? I
another
think
young guy.
Clinton.
You see, why
Yeah,
Clinton?
Clinton.
You see, they get into Europe and just for him to know that she already into another relationship. At the end of the day, all of the promises she made, and he couldn't stand it, heartbreak, depression, frustration. He went and then he hanged himself. I don't really know about, I don't know, this woman business. Sometimes some people, no matter what it is, I think it is worth taking away your life because of somebody who know daughter or somebody who know son. He promised to marry me. Now he travel, he marry another woman. She promised to marry me. She travel, she marry another man. So you feel to yourself and then you go, you do that. Now you gone. You will not get hurt in your dream or in your spirit, wheresoever you are. So this thing when it happens sometime, you really need to get yourself together. You need to tell people how you feeling, what's happening to you, and maybe they can find some people that can be able to counsel you. You see, but we don't have this kind of thing in Liberia, wherein when you are sometimes depressed, frustrated, and they have people who will counsel you and make you to understand that you got more to do ahead, and sometimes you let it go. But it is what it is. But that woman video, it brought so many things to my mind today. Yes.
Indeed, myself actually a few things today that really broke me down. That one, and the other guy who allegedly beat his wife. I don't know. I don't even get it. But again, we are getting latest report that President Waka suspends MCSS superintendent pending investigation into alleged financial misconduct. Okay, so at long last, out of the crowd, people, oh yeah, President Waka suspended MCSS boss, and because of so many things been happening, so the president has finally suspended. But again, quickly before we go back to our topic, Mark, and that but additionally, suspensions. In fact, suspend and go home. Even whether investigation come out or not, nobody cares. In fact, what say you? What are these? Yeah, Mark is too interesting because not too long they suspended LTA boss also called for speedy investigation. People who have been suspended allegedly for fraud, so forth, they are also calling on the government for speedy investigation. How come? I thought some others supposed to investigate somebody and find them guilty. If not, and release them and let them go in peace. If they find guilty, they should be punished for the crime. But Mark, we just seen all of the suspension. At the end of the day, nothing. And the people, those who are suspended, they're always crying for them to be investigated.
It seems like the trend of the rescue mission. That's why even the higher education is following. Because when you make a move, right, people are interested because somebody must have done something wrong before you can suspend them. And if you really want to seek redress, then you will speed up the investigation to get to the bottom of the kind of how they call it, the irregularities that happen. But in the case of the government, they expedite the suspension process and you cannot get no redress as to why they were suspended. So then what become of the suspension? Because I think if I'm going to suspend Mayborn, then immediately upon suspension, I'm working towards getting to the bottom of what the crime that Mayborn committed or what he did inappropriately. That's the whole idea about suspension. But this time, it seems like it's just one tool or an indirect political means of getting rid of people in government. You just suspend it and they are left hanging into perpetuity. You never get to the bottom of the investigation. You don't punish them. You don't seek any redress as to where they did wrong. So it's the same thing. That's why I keep saying it seems like in overtime because the trend, it looks more political than someone who's trying to be effective or efficient. Because if you really want to be effective or efficient in doing the way how you conduct business, then you will get to the investigation quicker and find a solution. But if you cannot, then I would say it's nothing but a political charade or just another way to bring people on board and to get rid of certain people when it comes to the political process. That's just how I see it. And that's how I'm going to interpret it. Mabel.
Great, thank you, Mark. I like that. Ali, what say you with the latest about suspension and some of these suspensions at the end of the day, those are suspended will always be calling, crying. You come my friend and investigate me or.
Yeah, like the LDA, the knockout, like you can name more than 1,000 of them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ali, go ahead, my brother.
That's it there. The city was just talking or people kill people and then they go free, nothing happy. It gave other people more leverage to say, man, say I will do it too. So if people will just see you suspend them we are doing nothing. So other people will go ahead and still they say the only thing President Baka going to suspend me. So that's all, you just suspend people, and at the end of the day, after 4-5 months, and you dismiss them with nothing being done. But we wait and see why we come out of this suspension. Yes, because I think that 2 or 3 suspension now. Yes, I think more than that. But we'll see why we're happy. When it comes to the United Party people, President Baka will wait for the LACC to follow all that due process before you suspend. But when it comes to other opposition, no. Immediately the moment they say, oh, Mayborn, he told 50,000, President Baka, the next day he suspend you. But when it comes to the Unity Party people, no. Even when it costs 9, 10, 11 months for LACC to go through the investigation, he will wait for them. So I don't say much about this selective suspension. I'm here for that.
And maybe the sad thing about this random suspension, it won't even encourage you to do the right thing, because you know the moment you get on that suspension list, that's the end of you. So it means if you get someone on the job, they'll be like, you know what, let me get my hands on as much as I can get right now, because I know the day they talk about suspension of my performances, and when they put me on that waiting list, that's it for me. So instead of waiting, let me just do the damage right now and be out when they are ready for me. That's what's going to happen. So it means you are creating a whole different culture of corruption and mismanagement, because you are not even serious with the investigation. Because when you are conducting an investigation, at least the public get a reassuring that, you know what, they guy was wrongly accused, but he was doing the right thing. But in the case that you can't even follow up with the investigation, then what becomes the essence of the suspension? So it's just a political purge. That's just why it is a hiring and firing scheme.
And Mon, you are saying something, because in fact you just said that they may also lead into another thing. You just suspending people. We have persecution. We have investigation. Then that means you are also creating another thing. People will be
another
thinking,
culture. Yeah.
Thank you. People will be thinking about maybe the best thing to do is for me to either do what I think I can do for my life. Because anytime I can be suspended, or the person can suspend me, then I just go with my own package. So the people will be thinking about carrying the packages and so forth. Mr. President, quickly, Mom, before you come before go to the line, Mr. President, I think people shouldn't be crying for them to be investigated. People shouldn't be talking, because that happened during the former local CEO. Restaurant Suakoko Dennis, she cried. Come on, government, you come and bring your investigation team. Let them come and investigate me. I want to be investigated. Now let them cry. Today, no here, no tea.
But why you going to that one was recent? That's why you see, if you follow the discussion we had on this platform, what happened at the LDA, that's why I told the position that I took. I said in that situation, they both couldn't have been right and they both couldn't have been wrong, right? Only one person can be saying the truth. But in the case of the president, if you're talking about you are threatening drugs as part of the arrest agenda, one of the major pillars of your agenda, you must expedite the investigation to get to the bottom. But in the case, he suspended both of them and yet to call one of them back. So what kind of message are you sending to the rest of them out there? That, you know what, even if you are doing the right thing, I will punish you. So technically, this president is creating a whole new culture, the entire administration. They are creating an entire brand new culture of encouraging people not to do the right thing. Because it means a member committed a crime and all the whistleblower, I could still be punished for doing the right thing. So then why is the essence? There is no incentive for me to do the right thing. I might as well get John the rest of the criminals and just steal and get away.
And you're right, whatever that whistleblower go ahead.
Looking at the case between the fighting guy's brother and A.B. Kroman. So, Mr. President, do you believe that everything that was said on A.B. Kroman were lies? So you went to where you suspended him and you fired him. But for the investigation between them today that made today A.B. Kroman, I think the Fadiga brother, the $1.6 billion lawsuit, or that is supposed to pay to A.B. Kroman for defamation of character. So that alone shows that it made you to understand that everything that they said on A.B. Kroman were all lies. But at the end of the day, you suspended the both of them and you fired them.
Yeah.
You see, so why you get to tell the Liberian people now? So those guys get lie on A.B. Kroman. So now, and you cannot call him back. There is nothing you can do. So sometimes the president, you have to do some critical thinking at your age and the amount of time you spend in government. Yes, with all the experience you have. You see, firing A.B. Kroman now, it was wrong. You can see it. that it was actually wrong.
So that means follow up question quickly to you and Mark. So that means quote unquote the government or maybe the president have no case against these people, because if you suspend me, because Mark, you just said something, people may likely be suspended for allegations of crime. You know, so for example, if you are suspended and that your name go out there in the media, people accuse you allegedly of being corrupt or maybe doing the wrong thing, then at the end of the day, the government remains silent.
Yeah.
What?
So I mean the government is a co-conspirator, because the thing about allegation is when you work in public offices, especially in the country like Liberia where corruption is rampant, more than likely you will be accused of something. But it doesn't necessarily mean that what they are accusing of, you engage into that practice. That's where the government comes in. This is why you want to expedite the investigation process, so as to vindicate someone that never did wrong and punish people that did wrong. But in the case of the government, they flip the entire script. They slow walk on the investigation, but they are very quick. They will expedite the suspension process rather than doing the opposite, because I would be more interested in pushing for the investigation so as to what? To vindicate someone or to punish the perpetrator. But like I said, there's rescue, and for the rescue, everything is to the opposite of how things are supposed to be done. That's why I keep saying it's a political approach. That's why I say this government or administration, they are creating a whole new culture or workplace culture in Liberia, because I have never seen anything like this before, wherein an accusation is made against someone and you won't care to investigate, but you are just quick to suspend. That's why the higher education too now, you know what they say, what? It starts from the top, with might as well join the bandwagon. Let's just keep suspending them too and revoking their licenses and accreditation. That's what happened, my brother.
Yeah, more you just use the word there. The government is a co-conspirator, because if you suspend somebody and you don't want to investigate them, at the end of the day, you just let them go, because you know when you carry on investigation, you will be caught up in the web. So why should I investigate them and why he did? And myself a part of it, my hand in the cookie jar. So let me just suspend you and let him go before you can say plenty of things. Because when we go for investigation, you think I will be machine? No. I will call you monk. I will say, oh yeah, the whole team monk and myself. So at the end of the day, just go and say that when they suspend you, just go and relax yourself. So now this government, everybody, as the president said, still just make sure you spend it in the country. That's all. When they catch you, they suspend you, just go and say that by your own name. So the government, they are becoming interesting. All the corruption cases in the country. Yeah. That's why they don't investigate, they only suspend.
And Mark, this is becoming interesting, because mind you, the previous government, people were complaining that in fact they were not sacking people, they were not investigating, or in fact they were not suspending people. In fact, the previous government, were not holding people accountable.
Yeah.
Now this government, people thinking that, okay, yes, maybe the first suspension, people were thinking that maybe this president trying now to hold people accountable. At least that's the best way to go. But then these same people that are being accused, they are crying and they are complaining that carry us to the law. Because Monk, let me just say that quickly before you come out, because the character of these people do also matter. We just see this thing that maybe that just joke. No. If in a Western world, I think the government, people may let us sue the government. Am I correct? Because if you take my character, my name, and put it on the red line, then for example, where people are going to bully me, people are going to insult me, people are going to accuse me, and at the end of the day, it's the same government coming by and say, okay, after our 12 days, or in fact, after our investigation, we were able to understand that this individual that was accused had nothing in connection with any accusations. He's not free. He's not free to work with anybody. He's free to work, to move about freely. I think this is a thing that we need, Mark.
Well, that's what we need. That's why I keep telling you on this show, and I will say again, no matter who's listening, or if you got your political feelings, you can express it either kind of way. That's why I keep saying there is no daylight between CDC and Unity Party. So if you want a better Liberia, too cannot be an option. Let me tell you something. Maybe suspension is not accountability. Suspension is technically preventing something from happening while you investigate. That's just why it is. And when you're in public office or public offices, there will always be accusation because you work with people from different spectrum of life, right? Some of them are partisan, some of them are opposition. So more than likely, if you are in a position of authority, people will make allegations against you. The question is, are the allegations true or not? Yeah, in the case of where he wasn't suspending nobody, and Joseph Boaga suspending faster than investigation, but equally so, suspension is not accountability. So there is no difference between he and Wea. They are both doing the same thing, but in a different way. They will not different in the case of Wea, he won't suspend you, but Boaga will create the impression that he wants to investigate, knowing fully well that he got no interest in investigation or getting to the bottom, most especially in critical sector of the government. We're talking about the LDA, we're talking about NOCA, we're talking about the GSA audit report, we're talking about the central bank, we're talking about the finance minister, we're talking about people paddling the payroll, even in the honorable House or representative that they are paddling payrolls there. So why the essence of you suspending when you're not going to investigate? It makes you no different from George Weah. You might well just keep quiet, like Ali said, just steal enough money, make sure you spend the country and keep enough on your matter for yourself. Because if you are going to suspend people without investigation, then you are not interested in accountability. So you are no different from the previous government. 6 and 7.
Ali, any other thing before go to the line? Yeah.
That's it. Then more George Weah, they didn't suspend until they come. Now Joseph Boaga will suspend. It better not to do it at all than to say you're doing it and no investigation. So that's just the same thing. So what the difference there? So people will be clapping. Oh, the president can suspend George Weah. Never used to suspend. I still you suspend me, I go enjoy myself. But it better not get suspended one for all, like continuous stealing.
Well, thank you. Monk, another thing that you want to say quickly before go to a land of our people?
Our people
all right, 077020312 to this first call of the David King, you got to move away from your monitor or cut you off. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, Mabel, when I saw that thing early this morning on Facebook, I said, oh, I thought if people said President Weah was the one that was killing people here mysteriously. And said the essential of this government, there have been a lot of mysterious deaths in this country. The last time I checked, there was a beheaded body at the GSA Road Junction in the drainage. They killed that young man, took her hair, he was lying on there. This young lady had gone and worked all her life. Built her house, she wanted to come and have COVID-19 home. Now she came, she met her untimely death. So, when you see, it's one of the things that we used to say, not every killing that is done, you actually be into government. So, should we not say Joseph Boaga the one that killed that woman? No, it is not a good sign. But it just put fear in your brothers and sisters that suffer so much in America and Europe and other places to take that money from there, buy a place here, build a good house, and come to raise themselves, and someone gather in the morning, they saw the woman mutilated body. In fact, what I heard is they rip her before they chop her to pieces and burn her. How can you behave like that? So you think I leave myself will feel fine to come like we're not gonna leave me in the house here alone and say I want to rest, I want to hear music, I want to hear noise. You'll be afraid. You'll be afraid. A lot of people more will be afraid to come like we're not to live somewhere.
All right, thank you. They will be afraid. To this caller, good evening. Hello? Hello? All right. Please don't hold the line to this caller. Hello?
Yeah, thank you, Mabel. Good evening to you, and good evening to all of the panelists. My name is Hussein Kew. I call from the first time that church is going to be. So, and this is a different talking points, but let me use this opportunity to extend my heartiest thanks and appreciation to the president for appointing such a wonderful co-workers in his government, well, especially the commission at the higher commission on education. So today it was a historical day, and I think every well-meaning Liberian who is an educator and believes that this country should change positively, we want to appreciate and hear this president. Somebody said, whether it's selected? No, it is not selected. It took over 7 to 8 months to carry on that investigation, and it came out with source report. So I want to say thank you to the commission, but they said they have little challenge as it relates to logistics and some financing. So we want to encourage the government, if you choose it, I want to support education, where especially finding the means that our country can be on par with other countries, then we have to support them financially, whatever means we can give them our support. So I want to say thanks to them. They did exceptionally well, and I hope our educators will learn from this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor, and your co-host in the diaspora. I'm Peter the Ricasso. I come from another street like in Lower Johnsonville. Thank you for the fact that this discussion. You know, neighbor, and it sounds very much comical to hear that the Commission on Higher Education closed and some of the schools and in Monrovia, let's say in Liberia. I think that's a complete shame and disgrace for that and the government of Liberia. To take a shot at division, you must have a proper mechanism put in place. But let me tell you, most of those schools are being closed down by the commission or by the government. They are well upgraded and up to standard, and they have, most of them have a conducive learning environment, even more than the government school. Look at the government school right around me here, uptown. But brother, when you get to that government school, it appears like a refugee those days. It can remind me when we were in a refugee camp in Guinea. You see the children, they are facing their own armchair to go to Mount Barkley when it's time. But the government care less about those things. You know, they are not closing those schools down. They're only pretending. They want to exploit and get money from those schools, those 31 schools that they are talking about. That's the basic intention of this particular government. When the government took power, their actions, their gross incompetencies, that have led to the police brutality and extradition cases have made the government to be internationally and disconnected.
All right. Thank you. To this caller, good evening.
Good evening, neighbor, and good evening to other panelists. I'm Peter Sa, and I join you from Soklele District 4. Neighbor, a lot of issues are discussed. Two questions that caught my attention. One has to do with the learning rate of children, and two, the regulations done by the government and the responsible to regulate schools. Let me first start with the government regulation. Hello, Memo, am I live?
Yes, we get to you, my brother. You are live and you are okay.
You see, the government got the tendency of always bringing the repetition like the rest of public disrepute. The government did when they brought in that yellow buses. Why you came to regulate school when the government schools themselves are not in good and better condition? Therefore, in my community, I know about other community, children are still outside. When they go to classroom, I told jam-packed, the children will be sitting outside to the window side and ready notes. What had the government been able to do about government schools? And the leaving government school going to say they regulated a private institution. Are we saying that the University of Liberia is up to standard? Can we go and do that assessment? So look, before you come with a message, you must look at yourself. You carry the message.
All right. Before you come with message, you must look at yourself. You that carrying the message. To this caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, people, neighbor, and good evening, my panelists. Emmanuel Standard is my name. I do join for the script too. Peace, Allen. Yeah, let me use this time to say a big thanks to the government for taking this boost. We need a commission on higher education, but I want to encourage the Ministry of Education to look forward to other high school to work over our country. Get some high school, you see, of course, I can high school be making a 3 every and say the school is a high school. So I want to encourage the Ministry of Education to go forward to look at the real high school everything in our country, because you see some of the instructors today, so you know the lesson that they are giving to the students. Some of them even give the students you pass or you not pass, or they tell you not pass. So for that reason, I want to encourage the education to look for those schools that don't read the criteria to be a high school. Those schools should be closed. So thank you for the time.
Thank you. Liberians are speaking out about the happening in education. Today's caller, good evening.
Thank you. Let me say good evening to you.
Yes.
Thank you. This is Koyo. William Covey, and I joined this conversation from the Sktv-Lib. Let me appreciate you so much. Well, let me begin by, first with the first topic, right? The National Commission on Higher Education. Well, for me, I don't know the standard in which they suspended or closed some of those higher learning institutions. I don't know whether it was based upon their facility or it was based upon instruction or let's say their staff that they have as to whether they met the criteria to teach at that level. I don't know the criteria in which they use to suspend them. But however, I appreciate them for that step. And I think all patriotic parents need to heal them because we've been talking about system change. So when we see people talking, maybe we see institutions taking steps to drive the way of system change, I think we should applaud them and encourage them to do more. So the issue of avoiding corruption, I have let me say one thing CDC and UPD and they are not the same. Now, this the issue of corruption is therefore as a student of government, look, there are anti-graft institutions probably responsibility to investigate and prosecute people like Liberia. They have the GAC and the IAA. They will do internal audit for every institution. When they find a proper cause on that hair of the institution, that maybe whatever funds that you justify or that really reasonable, you submit the name to the president for further action. Then where the president will come in now to suspend you and forward you to another anti-graft institution called the LACC. Those people are probably the authority to prosecute. They just passed the law giving them prosecutorial power. So when they say to LACC, the LACC now is probably the responsibility to investigate you and prosecute you.
All right. Thank you. The LACC. Today's caller, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mabel. Good evening.
Yes, but yeah, good evening. We're listening to you, Chief. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mabel. This is Arab Dennis Zambia. I joined at this point Ominga market the legacy of former President Weah. Mabel, you see, the information that you were giving us today is very scary about a lady who came in this country to do an investment and people pure. Remember, why people who pretended, who said that they had the best expertise for security job in this country, when they take over, like what will be saved, like what will be a paradise, why they say that people are dying and people are getting messy under their watch? Why? People pretend that in this country they are the professional people when they come to power, they want to be safe. Today, when they are under that leadership, see the kind of thing that happen. Even in Nimba, a major worker from us in Nimba County today on Joseph when the men went messy. Police in the country not giving any account of that man in the town of Boko saying in Nimba County. Why is it that the police so dumb man, they just saying now, they're not proactive. They just think they kind of thing going on in this country under their watch. What is the professional they talk about that when they activity so? Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
My name is Mamu Sevo. I'm calling you from Brownsville. I just have two key things that you just talked about. One has to do with the U.S. Embassy, and the other one has to do with the criteria set to declassify some of the school or to bring them to downgrade them. With the U.S. Embassy, I think that is just a signal for a lot of our brothers. The man's name is Bao Daly. He put it there. My mother name say, with God blessing.
You better
that is it. And then you can the woman Mary Anderson, you put it there, the anointed child of Mary. All of those things, those are information. Some of them they're taking it for granted, but it's going to be something that's going to come out of them. Then another one, the one that has to do with the school. I don't know the criteria that are being used by the higher education. Because if any criteria for which they use it to downgrade the other schools, if any of the other schools fall within that criteria, then definitely it's unfair. Because I can tell you, if you use instructors, so people get master teaching master, then I mean, you will look in the mirror and see whether that is not happening at the University of Liberia. If you say, because of poor sanitation condition, then you must start be looking. the government schools and other things. So those criteria should have been used in order to upgrade the public schools. And then when the public schools are doing better, then definitely you can come back down to use it along with other schools and see how best you can what it call. So that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now we have to go to the WhatsApp line and take calls now from the WhatsApp. Our people are calling back to back to. They want to be part of the show. To this caller, Sidiwa Jabo, good evening.
Yeah, good afternoon from my end, but I'm calling from Florida State, Jacksonville City. So that was Jabo Monday.
Go ahead, my brother.
I want to thank you guys for the show, Ali Masale, as usual. For me, I'm not going to waste my time with CDC and UK party stuff because more always is a classical. Because in life, when you know better, you do better. You don't have to be repeating the past and be complaining that the person do or the person do. So I'm not going to waste my time. My situation, my concern is the lady that came from Canada. Every day they say, come back home to invest. When the person take their time, they come back home, then you murder them. But when they deport somebody from America or Canada, you can leave them. You can disturb them or the deportee. You can harm them at all. Or anybody who want to make progress, better, you guys will get rid of them. But this is the thing. You see what happened to Grom Mususka? That's in the house. No hear no thing within the same house too. No hear no things. The scenario is plain. So the people are watching. They are watching the loophole. When they are not taking action, that's what's going to happen in the country. If you don't have no security, no proper electricity, how will people come? This is troubling. That's not what you guess what happened there.
You're gonna be having 4 or 5 person living together. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me go to my uncle in Corey. I don't know whether today you were seeing around that end. But Uncle, good evening, Uncle Brantate.
Yeah, Lebon. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
hello, Bon and Sherry. You know, I listened to the High Commission or Commissioner. But you see, I had some differences with him. It's like that whole thing is prejudice. And what did I say? Because in his pronouncement, when he called a school in Sanekole, which he also suspended, they say, you see, if I can suspend or school in my own country, then you will know that no one will be untouched. So the thing is, we don't care whether you're from Lima. The idea is do our job. If a school in Lima and never let the criteria, you shut it down. You don't have to say that you're from Lima and you shut school down from Lima. No, that's your what you have to do. So it means that say you can shut school down from Lima, even any other school anywhere that means the same mark, you will shut it down. That pronouncement or not any good pronouncement. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Those of you from the international side, you can also place in your calls on the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is there. Say at least let's take a few calls from the abroad so that our people too can also be part of this show this evening. It is indeed interesting that okay, so let me come to call it while we wait for WhatsApp call. Hello to this caller, good evening.
Yeah, Labor, this is Swam here from Grand Bassa.
Thank you for joining us from Grand Bassa.
Yeah, Labor, these people don't serious. If there are these people don't get them money that why the person is down.
No, man, that's true. You just said that kind of thing. That, look, let us to Ali heal these people, my people. Yeah, 0770203125. We'll take 2 more. No, I think we can still have time. We'll take a few calls. Then we'll cross over to our team. About at least 10 minutes to go. We'll cross over to our team so that we'll be able to respond to all of you. Yes, under very serious. Yeah, so 0770203125. For those of you that are calling me on the WhatsApp, you can also call in call in to also to be part of the show this evening. And let me see to this call right here in Liberia. Hello, good evening.
From Rocky Highway close to Boston.
Thank you, William, for joining us from Boston.
Yeah, my point I want to make is that this country will have to pray for this country. When some of all hear this kind of discouraging news, it brings tears to our eye. We have a lot of family relatives as well in abroad.
Yeah.
And listening to this kind of news, this is not a good news for the country. So the women have to do something. We all have to wake up. I can remember when the past government said that let's all be security by ourselves. And people take it to be somehow. And this is the situation now that is happening now in this government. So I just want to share this here. And whosoever that have done this thing, God should expose them. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed, myself. I join you to God should expose to those wicked people. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
My dear brother, Maple.
What's up, Chairman? Everything?
I'm blessed, God, my brother. Yeah, Maple, this is the voice of Idrissa. I am Idrissa from my neighbor.
Yeah, long time though.
I always follow the Sktv show, my dear senior brother. You know, I admire my brother Steve, Ali Sharif, Mark, and your brother Sekou. So I want to say many thanks to you people for bringing truth to power, for helping our country. Yeah, they want. So let me say this.
Yes.
Let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
Am I clear? Or?
Yes, go ahead, my brother. You are okay.
All right, my brother. Yeah, I want to say this. I think this government is trying to set on a junta way. I will live, madam. Why Gregory? Let me say this to Gregory instead. Colonel Greg. Why will Gregory not be taking issue that this serious? But putting a political casing in this really after. Why? Gregory. This guy always on the bully issue. You cannot change the act, it's so nice. But Gregory will never follow issue. Right now to the Madame Lakivo. The Madame Kivo for Canada.
Yeah, for Canada.
Yeah, the Madame Kivo. But Gregory, what is the following political issue? What will be happening in the House of Legislature? The thing you
Well, we'll take a few more calls. 0770203125. That's the number for you to call this evening. Have your own say on all of the issues here that we're discussing here. Yeah, well, the National Commission on Higher Education suspending nearly 31 schools. Yeah, go ahead, Tumete. I was thinking today, I said, but what happened to Tumete?
I will call my man, you know the parent that became Gonkabi and Gambaso, the people plug the future, so they say no team of part to enter Gambaso.
Oh, really?
Don't breeze.
Is that a protest or what?
No, they breathe in good condition, so they could stop the cleaning for party, so they can.
All of everything, everything. Yeah. Go ahead, my brother.
You know the parent that we're going to increase to the higher degree. Nobody can control that thing now. So that do that thing that go expose those people to come there to jail them for 20 years.
All right. Thank you. I don't even know what Ghana brings on the old day systems. Hello, to this call up. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, my name is Jeremiah. I call you from Rehab.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeremiah.
Thank you. Let me say thanks to all of you on the platform, on the Sktv. Thank you. So, I think for me, my concern has to do with the corruption business. I think everything will put it on the president because the president already done his part by suspending these people. So the other people that who heading some of the institutions that are supposed to prosecute these people, if they are not doing their work, I think we the Nigerian people now will need to be naming and shaming them so that they can do their work. Because some of them sending the service position and the president has the power on them to remove them anytime. That the LACC, those people in any position, they were appointed under CDC government. Now they stay serving the same position.
Hello, I don't want you to just be saying that kind of thing. But are they not investigating? Are they not calling for cases or so forth?
They are the ones that are supposed to investigate and prosecute the people.
But the people
But they are not doing their own work. So now, the way you're saying the president, and when the president goes to suspend it or remove it for office for not doing their work,
hello. Yes. Go ahead. I wanted to say something to you.
Yeah, it's still a good point. The president removing people from any office. Now they are in the office, they are telling you, other different government, they don't want to work because they feel they are not.
Who told you that people don't want to work? These people keep saying that in fact that they've been sending a lot of reports. There are a lot of other reports on the decks of your president that you can't even talk about. And the president had to advert. No, you're not getting a whole thing here. But you can just walk away, just one person. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
My name is Christopher, and I'm calling from Kakata.
Yeah, go ahead.
The things that are happening in this country, especially security-wise, there is an organized crime, and you know that the country is more or less split into two, 50-50. Opposed 50, in favor 50. There are people within the government who are opposed to the government and are making sure that these things happen. Government must not succeed.
Yes.
They are the ones who are having this kind of organized crime activities going forward to start killing people just so that development can come here. A nation that is well united can never see such kind of ugly behavior happening. So we need more advances for our people to support even the government that is in action, that is in power. Because tomorrow you, the opposition, you are also destined to get into power. We don't want a cycle of violence to continue. And that is what happening in our country.
All right. Thank you so much. The last caller, then we'll cross over to the team. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, so I called by to just step in because I couldn't make the tell something on this lady that he killed. You know, really, Mom said something. He said, there is no way possible that at the end of the day, the death of this woman cannot be attributed for an insult. Insecurity, that is the first thing that Mabel had just stated. Those who she has been in contact with, the last group of people that she has communicated with, and those who sleep with her in that particular place, if they abandon the place for that night, and they used to sleep there, those are eyebrow raising. Or if they were in the house and then it only happened to her alone, that's an eyebrow something that what they call it. And I think by all means, people know exactly that probably her interaction with some other people who really, they might have been bitter or they may have some differences. But the likelihood that people that are within, they must be, first of all, invited and then be investigated. But because this is very gruesome, this woman had labor. Some of the people they push their hour for almost, some of them about 16
no
hours.
Peace.
Some of them 14 hours. They do it and they only have probably maybe only a Sunday. And they come, they do all of their labor. We are here, we're calling them by phone, we're asking them for help.
Yeah.
If there anything for which she has done to you, why must you go to her extent? If you want to cover up or something that maybe between you and her and you don't want her to discover, is this the way for you to pay back to her? Or if she has some disagreement or because she's someone to you closer and you have differences, is this the way to get to her? I mean, I wept when I read that story today. I never even knew at the end of the day.
It's bad, my dear brother. Myself, join you. It's terrible. Again, that's the society that we live in. All of these things before that, for example, they what can I watch? The group that used to help our community. You can't be building up system. Then you are not supporting anything. What kind of governance system we have in this country? We used to have I don't know if it's another group or what kind of group that used to help. This thing at least will be able to help our security. But none of that, you can't say nothing. People can harm you by 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and just go free. God, where are we? Anyway, Mark, and Ali, we're back after listening to our people.
You know that our people will never take the politics out of anything. Two of the callers call here concerning the whole, when I made a comparison between the CDC and the WIA government, like I might as well side with the WIA government because at least for them, they were not interested in suspending people. The thing here is, you can tell the politics that what Jebo say is a classical. For them, they will always defend because they own a side. It's a split. That's why the country cannot make progress. Let me tell you something. The first caller wanted to lecture all about the LACC and the GAC. Like, we don't know what.
That's a problem.
We don't know everything yet. But trust me, this is Sktv. We don't bring information to our audience that we don't know about. Let me tell you something. When the LACC was first created, they complained that they never had direct prosecutorial power. So in 2022, a legal framework was adopted wherein they could bypass the Ministry of Justice and bring cases directly to be prosecuted. That's what happened with the LACC. But just quite recently, the excuse that came away under this government, that they are resource scrapped, that they have challenges and they are limitations. Matter of fact, they don't even have specialized court to prosecute corruption cases. That was the most recent excuse. So which one are you telling us? 1 minute you say we don't have the power to prosecute. Now they give you the power to prosecute, why you can even bypass the Ministry of Justice. They tell me, say, oh, we don't have resources. No, because the government is not interested. But you want to come here to come play defense because you think you are unity party partisan, so you must find excuse for anything and everything. So you want to come and lecture SKTV panelists about the steps that are needed for anti-graft institution. My brother, do your homework before coming here. Just make sure that when you come here, know exactly what you're talking about, because you cannot come and fool us and you will not fool our audience here. We can usually do our homework here before we can put information out there. If we are not sure of something, we'll tell our people, say, you know what, we cannot comment further on it because we don't have or information on that. But to come here to play your regular politics, that's up to you, but don't come and give misinformation, because the LSCC now that was given the power to bring cases by bypassing the Ministry of Justice, they are the one telling you now that they don't have resources. How can you complain about resources? For a president who believes that corruption is one of the enemy of the state, he will give the resources, he will establish a specialized court to bring about cases. But it just tells you that, you know what, they are not interested in that. So that's what we stand at. So don't come and tell us about which one the president will go to and how the process works. We know how the process works. You the one choose to play politics with how the process works.
And that's a fact, but I just like the way. But Ali, quickly, maybe you look, the country of ours, Monk, is not easy. But Ali, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, Maybon, can you hear me there?
Yes, we're getting you.
Thanks to the callers for taking their time to participate on the show and those in the comment section. You know, I'm still thinking about this young woman there. You know, this is scary, and
what is scary, my brother? What is scary?
There are people in the diaspora right now. You know, when we see this, so there are some people, so many things coming to their mind. And I was just reading something here. I don't know how she won a case in court against someone.
Yes, I even hear about land business, land dispute,
all kinds of things. And I was just reading a story here. So we hope and pray that the Liberia National Police, just how they trying doing everything possible to find those people who burned the Capitol building, trying to get witnesses, state witnesses, and things. They should do the same thing in this case. Because this is not a good news for our country. People who been out of the country hell of a long time, they want to come back. When you see this, you will have to sit back and start thinking. You see, this is scary for us to, because my brother, we work in this country too much, no time to rest for you to put all your resources back home. Like President Baka said, we should come back to help to develop the country, to do this. Is this how we are going to come back to the country? If you invest your everything, you go back home to rest, and then see the way she was killed. You see, you rape her, you do this, you do that, you chop her,
and you burn her. Can you imagine? You burn it. What?
This will be no. You know, it's really scary, and we wait and see how the process is going to go. And our condolences to the bereaved family out there, but. You know, since I saw this thing this morning, all the up and down I'm doing is just playing on my mind. But
all right, my brother, thank you. Yes, so let me say thanks to our caller, Monk. Even though I wanted to ask you this follow-up question when you were talking about that, because you know, like you just stated, most of these people they will come here and they be thinking that maybe we don't even understand anything, or maybe we don't know about this thing. We agree. Like Monk just stated 100%. These people, they have all of the authority being given to them, but what happened? If somebody not gave you, I'm not gonna call it, they say them for you to talk, or for you to bring somebody, or for you to back. For example, if you're not able to back, Mom, how will you back?
Yep.
But they want you to back. So if you're not giving these people support, nothing, then they keep crying that we don't have money. That's another form of undermining them. That you completely telling them that don't work. In fact, don't function the way we want you to actually function. Even the drugs issue. No, when we come here, sometimes you just tell God, thank you that we have so many issues to be talking about. But the president that went for drug test up to now, even the people are struggling. I beg you, Mom, anything quick before going on?
The thing here is with the caller, the first one I call on the whole LAC and GSCC, GSC and LACC stuff. What he failed to realize is when the LACC, after giving prosecutorial power, telling you that we are resource scrapped, that we have resource limitation. Matter of fact, we don't have specialized code. That's just the government in offensive way telling them we are not interested in corruption. Because if they do, they will provide all the resources so as to expedite the prosecution of the corruption cases, because they were already given the power dating back to 2022 in August, if I'm not mistaken. So for the LAC to come again and tell us, oh, we don't have resources, then it just means that this so-called rule of law that is embedded within the arrest agenda, it means that the arrest.
That way, that means more. We can make it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. Good night, man.
I thank you guys for the show. Thanks to the audience again. It was a nice day on SKTV. We see you again. I don't know when, but we'll see you again. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, my dear brother. Ali?
Yeah, the government start with showmanship and we end with showmanship. I don't know who are the first scholar that key to defend the government, but it is what it is. We know the best. God bless America. God bless Liberia. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you so much. And to all of our listeners, our viewers, thanks to all of you for your wonderful support, always following this show. Thanks to the head of this institution, likability, and all of the head of radio and programs, Odin Osumba Rabas. Thanks to Sekou Kalen, our CEO of SKTV. Steve Bode will be here hopefully on tomorrow, better say Thursday. The entire team will be here where we will talk. Thank you and good night to all of you. Love Liberia. Think Liberia and don't corrupt Liberia. Good night.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. The work of my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Clever so make you I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, and more I yo. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget now. So she work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.